Welcome back. A tree-killing bacteria is affecting lemon, orange, and other citrus crops throughout the state of Florida, slowly destroying the iconic industry.
Here on the Sun Coast, as fruits start to bloom, farmers worry how much of their crop, citrus greening, could take over this year. ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick is in the studio with more on this story tonight. Jess.
At Mixon Farms in Bradenton, citrus greening isn't typically found in the lemons. It's the tangerines and the oranges that they have to worry about, because once citrus greening infects a tree, those fruits cannot be used for anything, even juice.
We've got quite a bit of growing to do yet. It's early in the season.
The oranges and lemons at Mixon Farms are still green. Owner Dean Mixon predicts that the fruits will be ready to pick by October.
Thankfully, we've had some rain. That's helped tremendously. We've seen them pop in just the last few weeks since we've had rain. The trees have greened up and are healthy.
But it's not just the weather that Mixon has on his mind. Citrus greening is putting the squeeze on his business, threatening to spread through his citrus trees.
Unfortunately, by the time you can really tell on the tree, it's too far along. They really don't have a field test.
Mixon has no idea how much of his 40 acres of crops will be infected.
In September or so, we'll be able to tell.
But he's been taking preventative measures just in case.
There's really nothing you do once you have the greening. So you're feeding the tree a little bit more, and most of the time because it affects the roots too. The trees don't take up the fertilizer from the roots. You have to do your fertilizer, you do a foliar spray and spray it on the tree.
While Mixon can combat it, there's no way to kill citrus greening and get the trees back. Florida Governor Rick Scott recently vetoed $37 million in the state budget that would help reimburse farmers for their citrus trees that were destroyed by citrus greening. Mixon says even when funding is approved, it almost always goes toward research.
The problem is the growers themselves have not seen any of that funding come down to our level. It's not being dispersed to the growers to help us replant.
Citrus crops used to make up 80% of Mixon Farms sales. Now it's just 30%. Dean Mixon, along with a handful of other local citrus growers, plan to meet with Congressman Vern Buchanan next week. Mixon says he wants Buchanan to hear firsthand what's going on. Haley.
Thank you, Jess. Now we do want to let you know that members of Congress, as we mentioned earlier, were targeted in an attack at a baseball field in Virginia. We're getting some updates.
House Majority Whip Steve Scalise was shot. His injuries are not fatal. Let's listen in now to an update from investigators.
Saving lives. I remind you that this is an active investigation and details continue to unfold. I stressed this earlier and I'm going to underscore it now, that the FBI is not going to talk about the character or nature in which we are investigating this case, other than to say we continue to work this as an active investigation and an ongoing matter. There has been some confusion about the injuries involved. Our statement sent out earlier today, this afternoon actually, identified the number of victims and their injuries. Let me just review that quickly for you. 5 individuals were shot: a congressman, a United States Capitol Police officer, a congressional staffer, a lobbyist, and the subject. An additional 2 individuals, a congressman and a Capitol Police officer, attained secondary injuries at the scene and were transported to local hospitals and treated. As for the subject, and this is the only time that I'll be referring to him by his name, this afternoon we released a statement noting that the subject name was James Hodgkinson, 66 years of age, of Belleville, Illinois. He succumbed to his injuries at the hospital, and the DC medical examiner has issued the cause of death as multiple gunshot wounds to the torso. The FBI has issued a seeking information poster identifying the shooter, and it can be found at www.fbi.gov. While the subject is deceased, we continue to actively investigate the shooter's motives, acquaintances, and whereabouts that led to today's incident. We will continue to have presence as we process a scene here in Alexandria, and FBI agents are searching the shooter's home. His residence is Belleville, Illinois. The subject's vehicle was located on scene and has been swept by Alexandria PD and the ATF, and we will be processing with our FBI evidence recovery team as well. Obviously, we are looking to glean what we can from the contents regarding his electrical devices that he owned. Law enforcement has reason to believe that the shooter has been in Alexandria, Virginia area since March of this year. The FBI has issued, again, seeking information poster that is located on our website, asking the public to come forward with information on the shooter. To the local Alexandria community, we believe that the shooter has been living out of his vehicle in the vicinity of East Monroe Street, therefore asking you to report any interactions that you may have had with him. Likewise, the subject traveled from his residence in Illinois, and we are asking and speaking with individuals who know him personally or who may have encountered him on his travels. If you have information, please call the FBI 24-hour tip line at 1-800-CALL-FBI and select option 1 or visit tips.fbi.gov. So again, FBI's 24-hour tip line at 1-800-CALL-FBI and select option 1 or visit tips.fbi.gov. All tips will remain confidential. No amount of information is too small to report. Law enforcement will remain on scene until processing of the scene has been completed. We ask that the local community for your patience and your cooperation as we complete this task. Further updates will be shared via written statements unless law enforcement collectively standing behind me advises otherwise. I'll open it up for a few questions in just a second, but I want to turn it over to Chief Brown from Alexandria PD for a couple comments.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's Mike Brown, BROWN, Chief of the Alexandria Police Department. I just wanted to get back and give a status as to what we're doing in this community to try and reassure the community in terms of the safety and the security of our residents. Right now, we are canvassing the immediate area out here, doing door-to-door with our colleagues from the Sheriff's Department and the Fire Department, so that we can reassure people in the community that we believe this incident today is over, although the investigation will continue in this area for a while. We are also working with some of our other departments in the city, for example, the Department of Community and Health Services, to make services that are generally available for these kinds of situations available to our community over the next couple of days. We care very much about our residents and the people that come to visit us in this city, and we're doing everything we can to reassure them that this is a safe community and that your government and your public safety personnel care deeply about it. That said, you'll see a lot of law enforcement and fire personnel working this area trying to reassure them of such. So I thank you for that, and as a part of the department, we will continue to work with the FBI and as they move forward on their investigation. Thank you very much.
Special Agent Slater, did he have a vendetta against Republicans?
We've been listening to investigators there in Alexandria, Virginia. The FBI and the chief of police there give us some updates not only on what happened there today, but the man who they say traveled from Illinois, armed, and then carried out that attack at the baseball field there.
And they say they are searching his residence in Illinois. They're also looking into any communications he may have had with people or through phone, email, those types of communication channels to see if there were any clues as to why he carried out this attack.
All right. We'll bring you more if it becomes available, and of course the latest coming up at 6:30 on World News Tonight. A follow-up now on an Alaska man accused of killing 5 people at the Fort Lauderdale airport late last year. Esteban Santiago is scheduled to attend a court hearing in Anchorage to be sentenced in an earlier domestic violence case. But his attorney now says that Santiago will not be attending because he's being held in federal custody since the deadly shooting at that airport in Fort Lauderdale. Santiago had agreed to take part in a deferred sentence program that included completing an anger management course following a 2016 incident.
The wife of the gunman who opened fire at the Pulse nightclub in Orlando is asking a judge to dismiss one of the counts she's facing. Noor Salman is arguing that an obstruction charge against her was filed in the wrong venue. The motion requesting the charge to be dropped was filed Monday, exactly 1 year after the massacre that left 49 people dead at the Pulse nightclub. Salman is charged with aiding her husband, Omar Mateen, and obstruction for allegedly misleading investigators.
Miami area officials are asking the U.S. Coast Guard to install lights on the jetty where a baseball star crashed and died. Marlins pitcher Jose Fernandez crashed his boat at that jetty last year, killing himself and 2 others. The Miami-Dade Police Department made the recommendation for lights, saying the jetty poses a serious threat to boaters. The Coast Guard began a new analysis last fall of the government-cut jetties at the southern end of Miami Beach. The new analysis has not been released, but a previous study found that navigation aids in that area did meet boaters' needs.
Walt Disney World plans to honor a Nebraska boy who was killed by an alligator at one of its resorts with a sculpture of a lighthouse. 1 year ago today, an alligator grabbed two-year-old Lane Graves, who was playing along the Seven Seas Lagoon Beach outside of Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa. The child's body was found 16 hours later, and his death was ruled an accident. The Walt Disney World Resort president says the sculpture will be installed on the property this summer.
Time to get another check on our weather right now. Some rain if you live maybe east of the interstate. Let's get an update now from Bob.
A lot of rainfall there and some big storms earlier today, Scott. The storms were severe at one point, but just for a short period of time as that main energy has raced northward now. But still, some moderate to heavy rainfall occurring in East Manatee County near Parrish, where they've already had up to 2 inches of rainfall. There had been actually a flood advisory in effect that has since expired. They may have to reissue that if the rain continues to develop there, but we don't think it's going to be a large area of very heavy rainfall. And you can see you just had one lightning strike within the last 5 minutes or so with that particular cell. You could still get 1 or 2 lightning strikes with this kind of situation set up. But notice, not much going on in Sarasota, Osprey, Venice, all the way down to Englewood. It's fairly quiet there. In Northport, you're getting some rainfall, and it's not all that intense right now. And I don't expect it to get too intense. You can see Lakewood Ranch getting some light rain shower activity now. Near the town center, all the way up into Lorraine Road near State Road 70, and the rainfall down near, again, University Park. You can see some of that rainfall is in the light to moderate category at this time. More on your forecast coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. It looks like the hard work has paid off for the community of Rebonnia. Not only has Governor Scott signed off on improvements to the area, Manatee County will be contributing as well. ABC 7's Dwayne Lindo finds out how much Rebonnia will receive.
Residents in this small community have waited several years to get to this point, and they're just anxious to get the ball rolling. 3 times the charm for residents in Rebonnia.
We had some work did to the center. We worked hard and got the Mardi Gras signs installed up here on 41.
And now, 4 months after getting Mardi Gras back, the state and county are looking at $2.4 million worth of sidewalk and drainage improvements. Governor Rick Scott approved $1.5 million in state funds. In addition, Manatee County will contribute $943,000 coming from their half-cent sales tax fund. For longtime resident Charles Miller, he's pleased with the progress thus far.
I'm looking forward to seeing this. I'm 67 years old, and I hope I don't have to wait another year to see it start.
When it floods, the water has nowhere to go but on the streets and into people's homes, causing plenty of damage. Miller saying he's seen it for years, but now is looking for a brighter future.
This time around, maybe my grandkids could have new drainage. The mosquitoes won't eat us alive.
Rebonnia native Derek Randall also eyeing the future. He was an integral part of bringing Mardi Gras back and also runs a youth program over at the community center. He says not only will it improve safety, it will be a stepping stone to keeping this small community vibrant.
It's a great thing towards the improvement of Rebonnia for the kids as well. I mean, they keep the sidewalks and the improvements to help them tremendously, and the community as a whole will benefit.
Randall says it was a matter of residents investing in their own community, unifying them in the process.
It shows the strength and the resiliency of the community to stick with the fight, to stay in it, and now the fruits of their labor are coming to harvest.
Once County Commission approves the plan, it moves on to Public Works to engineer and design the project. Reporting in Rebonnia, Dwayne Lindo, your Suncoast News.
Thank you so much, Dwayne. Still to come in your Suncoast News, we'll check back with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan, and we'll have a peek at our weekend forecast.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
What's a nice Jewish girl to do when she can't introduce her WASP boyfriend to her conservative parents? Hire an actor. Hilarious and insightful, Bo Jest is at the Players Center June 14th through the 25th, and it's your ticket to a sizzling summer. Call the Players at 365-2494 or visit theplayers.org. Don't miss Bo Jest.
Rose takes her volunteering for Tidewell Hospice very seriously. But she knows how to have fun, too. And that's what she brings when we're invited to visit patients as part of Tidewell's pet therapy program. People love to see her. She really brightens their day. She makes people smile. And in end-of-life care, a smile can be a wonderful gift. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah, yeah.
Well, the rainfall today came a little earlier than it has been, and some of the showers and storms were rather intense at times, but that intensity has since moved on and it continues to move off to the northwest. There's still an opportunity to see some lightning strikes, but not nearly as many as we saw just about 2 hours ago right there in northern portions of Manatee County. You see this large area right here of rain. It's starting to get a little more intense here within the last few frames. You can see that near Lakewood Ranch and places to the north of that along State Road 64 and State Road 70 into Manatee County. And down to our south, a large area of monsoonal moisture really down here gathering together, and there's a chance at 20% that there's something may develop down there in terms of the tropics. But even if it were to develop, it looks like it would stay well west of Florida and head off toward Texas. Now, this is a different story out here. This is a tropical wave, a rather impressive looking tropical wave that too has a 20% chance of becoming the next tropical system as it makes its way rapidly off toward the west. We'll watch it. It's way out there. Very seldom do you see those kind of systems, the Cape Verde systems, develop in June. 75 degrees right now. We have some light rain still falling at the airport, and the dew point 71. Winds out of the east-southeast at 9. The pressure 30.05 inches. That's high at the surface anyway. We continue to see this high pressure ridge off the east coast of Florida. The high today a couple degrees shy of the average, not too far off. The low was right there where it's supposed to be, or just 1 degree shy of that average. 96 the record, and no rainfall officially earlier today, but we're getting some rainfall there now. Not a lot at the airport. Most of the rain, again, was well to the north of the airport. Now, the forecast tomorrow, slight chance for a late morning, early afternoon shower as the sea breeze gets going, and then better chances for late day storms. Showers and storms are in the mix. Highs will still warm into the upper 80s as the wind flow will be light and variable for the most part. East winds will start the day off with. We could even have a little patchy fog in the morning to start things off, and then Clouds on the increase late in the afternoon and evening. Temperatures around the U.S., well, another hot day today above the northeast. Washington at 88 degrees, so warmer today in the nation's capital than it was right here, and 87 degrees in Kansas City. A bit cooler. Things are cooling down after some record heat had moved through there earlier, actually yesterday. Now, satellite and radar imagery showing some big storms blowing up near Chicago, also spreading off toward Indiana today. Quiet through the central U.S. as high pressure dominates, and a lot of the moisture bottled up over the southeast United States. For boaters tomorrow, winds will be out of the southeast, turning to the southwest at 10 knots and then subsiding to 5 knots in the afternoon. Seas will be running 1 to 2 feet, and smooth conditions out there in the bays and inland waters. The water temperature now at 84 degrees. UV index will be an 8. It'll be rather high during the morning with a little more sunshine there, and the clouds come later on in the day. Low tide upcoming just before midnight, and then a high tide at 6:18 tomorrow morning. Sunset will be at 8:26, and sunrise will be at 6:35. Tonight, scattered showers still possible through the evening, mostly cloudy otherwise. Some patchy fog forming after midnight. Low temperatures pretty close to seasonal averages. And then tomorrow, we'll start off with a few clouds along with some sunshine. Then clouds increasing with a good chance for those late day storms. High temperatures in the upper 80s for the most part. Southeast winds turn to the west at 5 to 10. And then the extended forecast, still ever-present chance for showers and storms. They'll all be mainly in the afternoon and evening. We'll keep an eye on that tropical system down to our south. It could increase our rain chances next week on Monday and Tuesday. Back to you.
Thank you, Bob. Now to Suncoast Traffic Watch. Drivers are still seeing some backups heading northbound along I-75 from Clark Road past University Parkway. If you're heading in that direction, if you plan to hit the road soon, you're advised to avoid that area.
As expected, the Federal Reserve is hiking a key interest rate for the second time this year. Fed officials voting 8-1 today to raise the federal funds rate to a range of 1 to 1.25%. The rate sets what banks can charge each other for overnight loans and influences the availability and flow of money in the U.S. economy. The Fed also says it expects to begin reducing the size of its $4.5 trillion balance sheet as well.
Entertainment news is coming up next.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
What Florida city is best known for spaceflight?
Cape Carnival.
Cape Carnival? Close enough. What condiment includes vinegar, molasses, and anchovies?
Westchester sauce.
Close enough. And now, a word from our sponsors.
One-off from the Florida Lottery. Now available for pick 2, 3, 4, and 5 games. Miss by one on any or all numbers and still win.
Drive into Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota and discover big savings during the Drive and Discover event. Come shop the Suncoast's largest selection of Ram trucks. Get maximum cargo space and more comfort with a new Ram Quad Cab for as low as $24,999. Or get more legroom and maximum comfort with a new Ram Crew Cab and save up to $10,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
First, Nick Wallenda walked across Niagara Falls, and now, not to be outdone, his wife will also cross it. Arundara Wallenda is preparing to hang from a helicopter by her teeth as it flies over the famous waterfall. The stunt is planned for tomorrow, the 5th anniversary of her husband's televised 1,800-foot tightrope walk from the New York side of the falls into Canada.
Good news for movie lovers who want to save some money this summer. Regal Cinemas is offering 9 weeks of $1 movies. Suncoast has 2 area theaters participating, the Regal Oakmont 8 in Bradenton and the Regal Hollywood Stadium 20 in downtown Sarasota. All the movies begin at 10 a.m. on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and a portion of the proceeds will go to the Will Rogers Institute. For a full list of the movies and show times, you can go to our website, mysuncoast.com, and look under links we mentioned.
Pretty good deal.
A very good deal.
Especially for kids who are a lot, you know, they need something to do at that hour.
Yeah.
That'll keep them occupied.
We'll be right back with more news right after this.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.